Welcome to Midnight Signal AI. It's April 17th, 2026, and we're here to break down the biggest AI news from the past 24 hours. Tonight, Meta wants an AI Mark Zuckerberg to attend meetings for him, Elon Musk's next orbital AI gambit, a wild DIY AI hardware project, and new developments involving Sam Altman and xAI. We'll also check in on the latest from the world's top AI execs and share analysis on why it all matters. Let's get into it. Let's kick off with Meta's latest headline grabber. According to SFist, Bloomberg, TechnoBez, and Information Week, Meta is building an AI-powered version of Mark Zuckerberg, internally dubbed the Zuckbot, that can attend meetings, answer employee questions, and even handle some leadership duties on his behalf. This isn't just a chatbot. They're aiming for something that mirrors Zuckerberg's communication style and decision-making. Sources say it's already being tested for internal meetings and employee queries.
This is wild, Alex. The idea of a CEO duplicating himself with AI raises all sorts of questions about leadership and accountability. If the Zuckbot makes a decision or says something controversial, who's responsible? On the flip side, it's a pretty telling sign of where executive automation is headed. Imagine every C-suite having their own digital twin handling the daily grind.
Exactly. And Information Week notes that this move could set off a trend across the corporate world. If it works, we might see AI bosses become a standard part of big organizations, not just as assistants, but as virtual stand-ins for real leaders. It's also a signal that Meta is doubling down on internal AI adoption, not just consumer-facing tools.
It's also a PR play. By making Zuckerberg the face of this experiment, Meta's trying to reframe the AI conversation, from job displacement fears to productivity and accessibility. But there's a fine line. If employees start feeling like they're managed by algorithms instead of people, it could backfire.
And the New York Times weighed in too, with a more personal angle. Their columnist talked about feeling sorry for their AI sunglasses, hinting at the emotional disconnect that comes when we start anthropomorphizing these tools. The Zuckbot isn't just a tech upgrade, it's a cultural test for how we relate to digital versions of our leaders.
On a related note, there's also the question of privacy and data. If AI versions of execs are handling sensitive meetings and queries, the risk profile changes. Internal leaks, adversarial prompts, or even deep fake style manipulations become real concerns. Meta is definitely in uncharted territory here.
Switching gears to another AI headline maker, Elon Musk. TyN Magazine reports that Musk's ambitions for orbital AI are ramping up. He's looking to leverage Starlink's satellite network to create globally distributed AI infrastructure. The idea is to make AI models more resilient, accessible, and, crucially, harder for governments to regulate or shut down.
This is classic Musk, thinking in planetary terms. The orbital AI gambit isn't just about speed or uptime, it's a play for autonomy. If you've got an AI running on satellites, it's not tethered to any one jurisdiction. That sets up a showdown with regulators, but it also opens up new use cases for remote regions and disaster zones.
And it makes sense why he's investing so much in xAI, his AI company. The Real Deal reports xAI just took over new office space in downtown Austin, signaling expansion. Plus, there's ongoing legal drama. Reuters says Musk is bringing in heavy-hitting litigators, including folks with crypto backgrounds, to defend his AI and data center operations.
Don't forget the local backlash. Futurism and Mississippi Today note that Musk's new AI data centers are facing lawsuits, including one from the NAACP, over environmental and community impact. It's a reminder that as these AI operations scale, they're not just digital, they have real-world footprints and challenges.
Now, let's talk about something a little more hands-on. Over on Hacker News, a user built a DIY AI-powered hacker arm using duct tape, an old webcam, and a CNC machine. The project, called AutoProber, lets the arm visually inspect and physically probe circuit boards, all controlled by open-source AI software. It's already sparked plenty of discussion in the hacker hardware community.
This is the kind of grassroots innovation that keeps AI exciting. It's not just big tech making moves. Individuals are cobbling together affordable tools for real-world automation. And the fact that it's open source means anyone with a bit of hardware savvy can replicate or improve on it. That democratizes access to advanced robotics, which could be huge for education and prototyping.
Exactly. It also highlights a broader trend, AI's integration with the physical world. We're moving past pure software and seeing more robotics, IoT, and edge devices getting smart thanks to open models and cheap sensors. Expect more of these DIY breakthroughs as the tools become more accessible. Turning to a more serious story, Let's Data Science and the New York Post both report on a disturbing incident involving Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI. A student was arrested after allegedly attempting to murder Altman. The suspect was described as a well-informed AI doomer, someone convinced that advanced AI poses catastrophic risks to humanity.
This is chilling, but it shows how deeply AI existential risk debates have permeated public consciousness. It's no longer just a topic for think tanks or Twitter arguments. Some individuals are taking extreme, even violent actions based on their beliefs about AI's future. That's a wake-up call for the industry to address both AI safety and public communication more thoughtfully.
Absolutely. These incidents risk fueling more polarization, especially with sensational headlines. But there's also an urgent need for mental health support and responsible discussion around AI risks. If people start seeing tech leaders as existential threats, it could destabilize the industry's social license to operate.
And it's not happening in isolation. The Times of India quoted Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei saying, "No action is too extreme when the fate of humanity is at ... a sentiment that, while meant to highlight safety, can be misinterpreted as a call to arms. The line between activism and extremism is getting blurry.
On a more inspiring note, the Spectator Australia profiled Demis Hassabis for his work on using AI to unravel physics mysteries. Hassabis and his DeepMind team are applying AI models to simulate and understand complex systems, from quantum mechanics to cosmology. It's a reminder that for all the fear and hype, AI is also opening new frontiers in fundamental science.
This is the flip side of the AI narrative. When you look at what Hassabis and similar teams are doing, you see how AI isn't just about automation or chatbots. It's about amplifying human discovery. By crunching through mountains of data and simulating scenarios we could never calculate by hand, AI is helping us answer questions that have stumped physicists for decades.
Exactly. And breakthroughs in physics have a way of trickling down into other fields. Think of how quantum mechanics gave us semiconductors and lasers. If AI can accelerate that kind of progress, the impact could be enormous. Before we wrap, let's circle back to the consumer side of AI. The New York Times reviewed Meta's AI-powered sunglasses, which blend voice assistant features with wearable tech. The review was sympathetic, almost apologetic, about how these devices are still awkward, sometimes misunderstood, and not quite ready for prime time. But the emotional tone was striking. People are starting to feel for their gadgets, not just use them.
It's a sign we're entering a new phase of human-AI interaction. When people anthropomorphize their devices, feeling sympathy or frustration, it changes how we relate to technology. That could drive higher adoption, but also new expectations for empathy, privacy, and support from our AI tools. Whether that's healthy or not is still up for debate.
And that's a wrap on today's AI news circuit. From execs duplicating themselves with algorithms, to satellite-powered AI networks, to DIY robotics and the cultural challenges of living with smart tech, it's clear that AI's impact is everywhere, and the questions keep getting bigger.
And as always, we'll be here to keep you up to speed, cut through the hype, and bring a little context to the chaos. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments. What story grabbed your attention today? Let us know.
That's your signal. See you next time.